Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
My F30 boyfriend M32 wants to take a break and he wants me to move out ASAP. He invited me to move in with him. We've been living together for the past few months. We had an argument last night and he said he wants to take a break. I love him and want to work on our relationship together without taking a break. He wants me to move out for at least a few days. I think he should move out because I live here too and it's my home too. I even quit my job when I moved in with him to find a job closer to his place. I don't make so much money that I can easily afford a hotel. I don't want to stay with friends or my parents and inconvenience them. My boyfriend says my bags will be packed when I come home from work today.
What should I do?
Am I the asshole for not letting an elderly woman have my son's seat on the bus? I apologized to her and explained that my son wasn't feeling well. She rolled her eyes at me and said that she saw him standing earlier and that he's a young healthy teenage boy, he'll be fine. I apologized once again and told her that he wasn't feeling well and that if he was then he himself would have offered her a seat. The daughter told me to look at her mother and I admit the poor woman looked really tired. But I couldn't. My son had started to lean against me, so I told the woman one last time that I was sorry and to ask someone else. I then heard them both whispering and calling me an entitled bitch. And when we got off the bus, a woman that got off with us said that a teenage boy can handle standing more than an elderly woman can and that she hopes someone treats me like that when I'm her age. My son was so out of it, I don't think he even noticed or cared, but I can't get this off my mind. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not letting an elderly woman have my son's seat on the bus? Alright, so my son, 17, has weekly therapy appointments that I take him to. Unfortunately, my husband let our daughter borrow his car and then had an emergency at work, so he had to use my car, so my son and I had to take the bus. It wasn't ideal, but I'd rather the bus than miss an appointment. While it isn't my place to share why he goes to therapy, I will say that he will often forget to eat. I usually make sure he's fed, but due to the mess in the morning, it slipped my mind. The bus wasn't too crowded but all the seats were taken. My son wasn't doing too well and I could tell he was feeling dizzy from hunger plus the bus. So the second someone got off their seat, I sat him down. I then tried to find a chocolate bar I had in my bag. While this is happening, I noticed an elderly woman and her adult daughter standing beside us. I didn't pay much attention until the daughter tapped me on the shoulder. She asked if my son could move so that her elderly mother could have a seat. I felt really bad, I really did, but my son was not doing great and standing would make it harder. I had found the chocolate and he was eating it slowly, but if he stood up right then, I can assure you he would have fainted. BF 21 meters mad that I 20F have 3 cats. I have 3 cats, my boyfriend is mad. My most recent cat I got was a Bengal cat. He now says I have too much and I'm becoming a crazy cat lady and I need to get rid of one. I like all my cats and I don't want to get rid of any of them. But the fact I don't want to get rid of them makes him say that I love the cats more than him. For some context, I don't live with him, I live by myself. Make my own income. He's freaking out the new cat that I got even though he said I could have it. Now he's saying that he said that out of niceness and I should have known to not take him seriously. What should I do?
My family seemed disappointed I beat my illness. My little nephew confirmed my suspicions. I, M47, was diagnosed with cancer about 6 months ago. I don't know what happened, but I was misdiagnosed. It wasn't malignant as the initial diagnosis. Anyway, I'm recovering. I don't know why, but it felt like mom, F73, and sister, F35, weren't all glad about me recovering. I didn't make a fuss, but I told my girlfriend F38 about my observation. She told me not to worry and that they were probably still in shock. We were invited to my mom's house last Sunday and that's when my nephew, M12, was a bit angry and blurted out something about him thinking he was gonna be rich soon because I was sick. It felt like a gut punch. I'm child-free, so I don't really know when people start being assholes. But it felt like he's still too young for that, so the next explanation is that he's heard the adults around him? I laughed and looked at my family. They pretended that they didn't hear. Only my girlfriend watched me in horror. I asked my nephew why he would think he would get rich when I have my girlfriend. He was confused. I saw my sister turn around at that announcement. My girlfriend spent the rest on the evening holding my hand, caressing it. Mom called the day after and she was dancing around the subject, trying to find out more. I never discussed my will with anyone, but what were they expecting? I've been with my girlfriend for 13 years. She's the love of my life and my family. What the frick is going on? I'm changing my will, excluding my nephews who I thought I would leave some for. It's going to charity instead. My wife is in love with another man. My wife is in love with another man and has been ever since we met each other 28 years ago. I found out this weekend by finding a letter in a notebook that she wrote in 2017. The only physical intimacy that was mentioned in this notebook was a hug. 2 very intense hugs. That doesn't sound so bad? The 5-page letter she wrote details how she has loved him, wanted him, dreamed of him, and cried for him. How she's been miserable over the years not being able to be with him. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start over. Everything I thought was true has been a lie. Everything makes so much sense now. This reality is a bit much to take. Edit. Thanks for all the advice, feedback and support. I could have done a better job explaining. There's a lot of information not here. Maybe I should just post the letter with my responses. I sent her a copy of the letter that I typed up after I took pictures of every page. I wasn't snooping. I don't do that or I would have found this letter 5 years ago. I was looking for a snack, a particular snack, and I knew she kept them in her backpack and she was fine with me getting one out of there. When I unzipped the backpack, it fell open and the notebook hit the floor wide open. There were certain words that popped out at me when I picked up the notebook. These words made me smile at first, thinking this was a letter she had wrote me but never gave me. If I attach the letter I will put it in the comments. Thanks again. Am I the asshole for pretending not to recognize my parents when they tried to reconnect? I was raised mostly by my uncle and aunt. My older sister developed a serious illness when I was 6 and my parents decided that they couldn't care for both of us, I guess, so they kind of unceremoniously dumped me at my grandparents and my uncle took me in. Didn't even explain to me what was going on, just you're going to go visit Gran for a while and never pick me back up. My grandparents and uncle explained it later, and they were pretty livid at my parents. I've seen my parents maybe 5 times since then and not at all for the last 9 years. I decided to stop having contact with them when I was 12 and since I was the only one reaching out all communication broke down. It turned out okay. I love my aunt and uncle and it turns out they can't have kids so they've always said I'm their miracle kid. I was just misrouted by the stork at first. I was formally adopted by them when I turned 18. I wish it had been earlier but there were some red tape things that would have made that really expensive and difficult. I'm 21 now. My sister passed away between Thanksgiving and Christmas and I made a trip back from school for the funeral, but I stayed in the back and left before my bio parents could talk to me. They called my uncle to try to talk to me, but I said I didn't want to so he told them that I wasn't available at the moment. They finally caught up to me over Christmas when I went to midnight mass with my gran, and approached me and tried to give me a hug. I did recognize them, but I pretended not to and just backed off and said sorry, do I know you? They said we're your parents. And I said my parents are at home. And went and sat down with my gran. They sat behind us and I could just feel the stare, and on the way out they were like you really don't recognize us? And I said oh, are you my dad's brother? I think I remember you from when I was little. My gran thinks they deserved it trying to come back. I fucked my best friend last night and now I want to throw up. I, 21F, have a best friend, 20F, that's been with me through hell and back for a long time. She's my girl. She's my rock. She's my writing star. We plan to be famous authors one day. But last night? All we wanted was to be under the influence of something. So, she suggested I walk to the store and get a bottle of UV blue. I came back. We drank. I poured my heart out and began crying and laughing. She held me. Eventually, she dared me to take a double shot and I slammed them both. I immediately ran to the toilet and threw up. Then proceeded to get in the shower and just lay on the tub floor while she sat on the toilet lid. She interrupted me mid-rant and asked me, what would you do if I said I wanted to kiss you right now? God. I never stood a chance. We took it downstairs and dear Lord was it amazing. I hated how amazing it was. The Hannah Montana movie was in the background. Afterwards we proceeded to just laugh and talk and cuddle in the bed together. The next morning, now, it really dawned on me what I just did. Oh my God. That's supposed to be my best friend. Why am I gripped with so much anxiety right now? I want to never mention it again and let it float in the air.
People who are over 40 and happy with their life, what is your advice to people in their 20s? I am 40 years old and I have 3 pieces of advice for anyone in their 20s. Number 1, accept that perfection doesn't exist. Your relationships will have problems, your car will break down, someone else will anyways have a better phone or a bigger house than you, no matter where on the social ladder you stand. Constantly chasing perfection will keep you permanently stressed. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try to better your life, just know that if you expect perfection you will never be satisfied. Number 2, pay attention to your diet and health. I have been working out at least 4 times per week since my mid-20s. I am fitter, healthier and look younger than almost everyone else my age. And finally number 3, don't stop doing the things you love. Even though I have a wife, kids, job etc., I still make time to play video games, draw, write stories, read comics and do all the things I love. There is no reason to become a miserable old bastard. What are some signs that you're unattractive? People don't spontaneously or enthusiastically take pictures of you. I have an acquaintance who is really gorgeous and photogenic. Most of her Facebook posts are her doing these spontaneous photo shoots with her friends, where they do all these yoga dance poses, jokey model poses, just normal selfies, etc. People just want to take her picture. Another dude I know is also pretty good looking and looking through his pictures, people just take lots of random pictures of him being spontaneously goofy and funny. For people who are less attractive, taking pictures is more forced. You have to ask people if they can take a picture of you. People kinda reluctantly agree, but they want to get it over with. You won't have many pictures that capture spontaneous fun or goofing around because you had to stop and ask someone. It'll be a quick "hey, we're hanging out" selfie, but we also probably won't look at the picture together. I notice with the more attractive photogenic people, not only are there more pictures, but people want to look through them and comment on how awesome they are.
Am I the asshole for leaving a fake positive pregnancy test in the bedroom to catch my husband's mom snooping? My mother-in-law moved in with us a month ago. I began to notice my stuff in the bedroom being touched. Furniture rearranged, stuff moved, etc. I felt like I was going crazy because my husband is the only one who has access to the bedroom and he doesn't usually touch nor come near my things. I figured it must be his mom walking in and snooping on my personal things. I told my husband and he said his mom would never. I had a huge hunch but couldn't install a cam in the bedroom to catch her in act. So, I got me one of those fake positive pregnancy tests and threw it in the bedroom's trash can. Note the trash can was placed in the corner near the closet. Literally the next day after I got to work, I got tons of calls and texts from my in-laws congratulating me for my pregnancy. My husband came over to my workplace and was all worked up about it, asking since when I was pregnant, and why I didn't tell him. I asked how he found out and he said his mom found the positive test in the trash can in the bedroom. I asked if his answer just confirmed that she's been snooping in the bedroom all along. He had a realization moment but demanded we stick to the bigger issue. I said there was no bigger issue because the positive test was fake and this whole thing was done to expose my mother-in-law's snooping. He was not convinced. He had me take an actual test right in front of him and he was livid, asking how could I lie about such thing and break his mom's heart since I know very well that she longs for kids. I got a lot of shit because of this from him, his mom and family now calling me a liar and manipulator. Am I the asshole? What is socially accepted when you are beautiful but not accepted when you are ugly? Literally just existing and talking to people. There's a guy at work named Sean. Sean is unfortunate looking. He's a redhead, he's balding, yet his sides and back are pretty long. He doesn't cut his nose hairs. He's constantly red/pink, pot-bellied, and yeah, he kind of lingers around your desk and talks a bit too much. Problem is, we all kind of do that. You know. Overstaying your cubicle visit or whatever. Everyone at work thinks he's creepy. They all think he'll shoot up the place or maybe will eventually be banned from entering a school zone. To be honest, Sean is a sweet, nice dude. He's your nerdy, 40-year-old V-card type of dude. He's got a lot of friends, from what I can tell on Facebook, and practically zero work friends. He plays on different softball and bowling teams, goes out to bars with his friends, and from what I can tell, seems perfectly normal. I talk to him every so often and he's a really nice guy. I visited his desk and he said I was the first person to visit him. He started here maybe 6 months ago. It's very unfortunate for him that people think of him this way. I know for a fact that if he was skinnier, had hair, and wasn't ugly that people wouldn't think he's creepy at all.
I think my boyfriend is unattractive, but I always call him handsome and cute. I've been dating this guy and I honestly really love him. I think he's pretty unattractive and I think I'm pretty unattractive too, to be honest. I don't really care for appearances when it comes to liking people. I guess my aesthetics are kinda weird because I don't think humans are aesthetic in general. Some are better than others, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, this would be fine, but when I met him he was quite shy and had such low self-esteem. I've always tried to give him many compliments and call him cute and handsome. And he is very cute, just not handsome. He told me I gave him a lot of confidence and he's really come to terms with his appearance. I've tried brainwashing myself, but I don't think I'll ever see him as handsome. I don't think I'll ever tell him because I love him to bits and I would hate to make him sad.
I'm planning to use my wife's long ago affair as an excuse to leave her for another woman. I already feel super guilty about it, but it's been 3 years since her affair ended. In the last 6 months, the woman that could be considered the one that got away, came back into my life and has admitted that if my wife ever cheats again then she wants another chance with me. She has stated that she will only respect the marriage, but she felt like she needed to let me know. Oddly enough, I had been having many recurring dreams about her prior to us reconnecting. I haven't done anything other than text or call this other woman, but my heart absolutely knows this is what I want. I have no children of my own, so it makes things a little easier, but the sense of guilt is still there. I know it will devastate my wife, but things have not been the same since her affair and we both know it. Prior to marrying my wife I had a chance with this other woman to try again, but I told her no due to me already planning the engagement. Both of us have wondered what if, ever since. I'm scared, excited, and I also feel like a horrible person knowing that this will devastate someone I planned a life and future with.
I found messages that my boyfriend sent his ex the other night. They were so sweet they made me want to cry. My boyfriend was previously married in his 20s. He never talks about her much, just that it was something that happened in his life and he doesn't think of her much anymore. He has never said anything bad about her, but he has indicated that she had some mental health issues that lead to the decline of their marriage. All in all, I figured her loss was my gain, as my boyfriend is the sweetest, kindest partner I have ever had. Today he is at work, but told me I could go into his place to hang out before he got off. I got on his laptop to watch some Netflix, and found it open to Facebook. Yeah, he lives in the past a bit. There was a chat box open with a woman's name. It took me a minute, but I eventually recognized it was his ex-wife. My heckles were up, I will admit. For a horrible few seconds I thought my whole happy relationship was about to crumble, but then I read them. She messaged first. She seemed frantic, maybe in the midst of a mental health crisis. She told him she desperately wanted him back and claimed he is the only man who ever treated her with kindness. She was practically begging. And my boyfriend responded to her that he is in a happy relationship, and he will not respond to any contact like that again, and I let out a sigh of relief. But he went on to tell her that, while they will never be able to be friends, he did believe she is a good person. But her mental health issues make it impossible for her to form a stable and healthy relationship with others. He told her he hopes she can find therapy that works for her. He told her that he never wants to know her again, but he does hope that she can eventually have a stable and happy life, but that it won't happen until she confronts.
I call fake orders into a pizza place to get free pizzas. My husband works at a popular pizza chain. We'll call it piece of butt for the sake of rhyming. If orders are messed up or carry-out orders don't show, the employees get to take the food home. Sometimes I order pizzas under fake names and give the numbers of local businesses as callback numbers, and then purposefully never show up to pay for it. 9 times out of 10 my husband brings home the pizza I ordered. This is sinful pizza, yes I know. But sin pizza tastes better than honest pizza, inexplicably.